So the big question is this: how are people like us, who didn't take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pocket, just trying to be a laundromat entrepreneur, how do we market in a way that lets us get our services and our products and the things we believe in out to the public, and yet still remain profitable? This is the question, and in this podcast, I will answer that. My name is Victor Nichols, and welcome to the Laundromat Secrets.
Evening, guys. How's it going? I'm here with my son Ethan. He's eating, what are you eating there? Some worms?
I try you lick them, and then you put them in some sourdough, and then you eat them.
Yep, so that's what he's doing. We're actually, let me set this up here real quick. We're actually heading over to the laundromat right now, do some coin count and clean it up and check the lint traps and stuff like that. So, remember last week we actually talked about online research on how to actually find a laundromat. So today I just want to kind of go over the scouting. If you already found all your local laundromats or laundromats in your area and stuff like that, the next step on actually finding a laundromat that's going to work for you is to go out and scout it. That means you have to get up and physically walk to the laundromat or drive to the laundromat and check it out. If you're not exactly for sure what scouting means, it pretty much means getting off your butt and actually going out there and looking at the laundromats, taking pictures, taking notes, knowing as much as you can about that one laundromat that you're going to go look at. So, I guess a good example would be, would you actually go out and buy a car before you looked at it? I mean, you jumped online, you pulled up the information, it looks really, really good, you know. Of course, everything looks good when, online or when you take pictures and post it for sale and stuff like that. But would you actually buy that vehicle before you go looked at it? I'd say no, because you don't know if the engine's bad, how many miles are on the engine, if the tires are old, dry rotted, stuff like that. So you want to go out and inspect the laundromat before making an offer, before even trying to take it over. And the way you do that is by scouting. So, and scouting is pretty simple. I mean, you might feel uncomfortable going in. I know I do every now and then. I'll go in the laundromat, and here you are holding up your phone, taking pictures or videos or a notepad, and you're taking notes, and people's like staring at you like, who in the world are you? So, I mean, you can feel uncomfortable. I know there's times I walked in laundromats and it's like packed full of people and everyone's like staring at you weird. And there's times where I walked in laundromats and it's like completely empty. So, it's just, you got to get over your fears and just move forward and try it out. I mean, what's the worst thing can pretty much happen? The owner comes in and says, "Hey, look, you know, if you're not doing laundry, could you please leave?" So I think that's probably the worst thing that could possibly happen. But then again, you get to meet the owner and get his information too. So, the ways to kind of blend in is bring your laundry. Just grab one basket of clothes you could probably throw in a top loader. A top loader is anywhere between what? $250, $275, depending on where you go. Obviously what city and stuff, it could probably be up in the $350s too for a top loader. But you're gonna throw your clothes in the top loader. After you throw it in the top loader, now you're a customer. Now you can start looking around and taking photos and everything else, and you're really not gonna get questioned about it. I do remember up in my store up north, the Blue Kangaroo, the owner of Blue Kangaroo, I guess there's like 2 or 3 stores of Blue Kangaroo. They're kind of big. He actually came when we first opened up our doors, and he was checking out my laundromat. And he actually brought, oh man, I think it was probably like 2 or 3 pairs of shirts, and he threw in the top loader, and he's looking around, taking photos and stuff like that. And I just happened to be there. He didn't know I was the owner or anything. But I was there in the washer fold area. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? So I walked up to him like, hi, can I help you? You know, here's a business card. This is your first time here, blah, 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 blah. So kind of striking up conversations and stuff like that. And eventually he kind of came out. He's like, oh, yeah. He's all like, he had that I know it all kind of attitude. And that's the vibe I kind of got off him. Like, because I'll ask them questions, stuff like that. It's like, no, it's all good, nope, I'm good, I'm just washing my clothes, I'm not gonna dry it. I'm like, oh, you're not gonna dry it? Why aren't you gonna dry it? I'm like, my dryers dry really quick, you know, it wouldn't take very long for what you had. Oh, that was like the reason. He had like 2 or 3 shirts in the top loader, and it was going unbalanced, because what happens if you don't put enough clothes in it, or you put too much clothes in it, it'll start the washer will start rocking and making like a really loud noise. So that's why I went over there and to look at the washer to see what was going on. And that's how I met the guy, and he's all like, no, yeah, I understand. And he said he wasn't gonna dry his clothes, and eventually it came out that he was the owner of Blue Kangaroo. So we struck up conversation, stuff like that, and we talked, which is pretty cool. It gave me some insights and stuff like that. But you can't be afraid to go out and scout the stores. Kind of like he did. He was checking out his competitions. I go out and check out my competitions. And the nice thing is, when you're scouting out the stores, if you find a store that you actually do take over, if you did your job, your due diligence, and you researched all the laundromats in the area, and then you went out and you scouted each store, you're going to have all that information in your hand. It's going to be like a big old map of the surrounding competitions in your area. You got the prices, you got how old their machines are, what the place looks like. You're going to have all of that information readily available to you. So you know exactly what you're going to price your laundromat. So that's where scouting helps out. It's going to help you decide what prices you're going to charge. If you need new machines, if you need to update the store, how you're going to negotiate, because you know you did your research. So, but back to scouting, I apologize. For the scouting, you're gonna go to the store that you already researched, go to that location, and start taking notes. So you're gonna look at the flooring. How bad is the flooring? Is it torn up? Does it need new flooring? What type of flooring is it? Look up. Is there leaks on the ceiling? Does it look like there's water damage? Maybe that indicates a leaky roof or something like that. If they got swamp coolers, or if there's if it was raining that day, or what's going on with the ceiling tiles, what type of roof is it? Can you tell if there's air conditioning or no air conditioning? Like in my town, the Wilmington, there's 3 laundromats in the town. I own one of them, and there's 2 other ones. The other 2 do not have. Sorry, there's loud cars driving by. The other 2 laundromats don't have air conditioning. So it's one leaves their door open. The other one actually has windows. So they open up the windows to try to get a breeze, and they got this big old exhaust fan, I guess, to try to blow cool air in or hot air in. So my place didn't have air conditioning in either, man. I remember when I first took it over, it was so hot, my candy bars were melting in the snack machine. I'm like, oh my God, I'm wasting all this product because it's so hot in here, and it took forever to finally get the air conditioning installed. But I did get it installed, and now I'm the only laundromat in town that has air conditioning, which drives traffic to your place. And you wouldn't have known this unless you actually went out and scouted the place. So after you look at the flooring, look at the ceiling, look at the walls, look at the machines, if you can find the model numbers and the serial numbers, jot those down. How many washers do they have? So like, you see, hopefully they're labeled. They might not be labeled. And my laundromats that label all the machines. But you go through and try to find the same exact identical machines and write the model numbers out. So let's say they got 4 Speed Queens, and they look like they're 18-pounders. When you pull up the model number, look it up, it'll actually tell you if it's actually a 20-pounder, 18-pounder, what size they are. So that's why you want to write down the model numbers. It's going to tell you how old the machines are. Might be 10 years old. Now machines, it all depends on how long you take care of them. So equipment loans usually go for about 6 years. That you can get the longest loan, 6-7 years. Anything after that, they don't want to give a loan because they're older machines. So, but machines you can get about 30 years if you take care of them. Some machines go even longer. I mean, I got some 30-year-old dryers in my laundromat that I still fix up and use. But it's hard to find parts for those. So that's where the model number comes in handy. How many tables are in the laundromat? How many carts are in the laundromat? Do they provide like a slop sink? A slop sink is pretty much just a sink where customers can rinse out their soaps or their clothes and stuff like that. Is there a washer fold? Is it unattended or is it attended? So is there hours of operation? How long is the store actually open? Is it a 24-hour store, or are they only open between certain hours? Vending machine is a third party. If it's a third party, they're gonna have like a little sticker up there that says like my ice cream machine, it says Auto Frost, and it has the phone number. If there's any issues, they can call. So that's how you can find out if the vending machines are part of the laundromat or not part of the laundromat. So you just walk around, talk to some customers. There's a few where I actually walk through and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm interested in buying this laundromat. What do you think of it? You know, and they'll be more than happy to tell you about it. They'll say, hey, this machine's broken. Oh, this machine isn't working. You know, it eats my money. The owners are horrible, or they actually might know if there was a new owner that took it over. So definitely, if there's customers, chit chat with them, get to know them a little bit. You know. Especially, it'll help you out in the long run if you actually do take over that store, because they will actually pass the word around, being like, oh yeah, there's somebody in here that was checking out the store that's gonna buy it. They don't know if you're actually gonna buy it or not, but it comes through like you're gonna buy the store. So that stuff like that comes in handy. You have to go scout the store. If you don't scout the store, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know if you can actually negotiate a really good deal for the place without scouting. So the first video that I actually created talks about how you actually find the laundromat. This one is all about scouting. So you have to scout before you contact anybody. Before you contact the landlord, before you contact the owner, before you even strike up a deal to negotiate the place, you want to go out and check out all the different places and make sure that this place is going to be the right location, because location is huge with laundromats. So other than that, if you guys have any questions, definitely go to my website, nicholsvr.com, and type in the comments where it'll email me, or you can leave comments below. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Give me some likes, and I'll see you guys later.